Welcome to Calling Cousins. This is Cousin Ash calling from Arizona. We want to thank everyone for joining us today.
Cousin Shaw here, calling from Colorado. Being a grown up is overrated. Hopefully, we have some beneficial advice on how to guide you in the right direction with our Adulting 101 section of our podcast.
Being an adult is the dumbest thing I have ever done. All right, so today's topic we have marriage tips and a quiz. And obviously, my hubby is here. This is Corey.
Oh. Hi, Corey!
Hi.
Sorry, my alarm went off. Basically, I pulled up some questions to ask y'all, so hopefully there's not too uncomfort. Just a little bit, though. A little bit of comfort. But
That's okay. I think we can handle it.
first, and I know you mentioned this a while ago, cousin, on how you guys met and stuff. So let's just do like a little tidbit on that to kind of set the scene.
Well, I wouldn't say anymore one of the few because I feel like it's happening more and more often, but we met on a dating website. But it was basically like the Tinder
It was a
back
dating
then.
website for teenagers.
Yeah,
For
it
back
was
in our days.
yeah, it was called My Yearbook, which now I guess is called Meet Me.
Well, I did not. How did I? I thought you met on a different one.
Mm-mm. It's called
My
My Yearbook.
yearbook.
Yep.
So was it like just your school? No, it wasn't your
No,
school.
No, that's what I thought it was
the
for.
same, but no, it was straight up like a hookup site for teenagers. Like it was,
Huh?
I would say it was this day of age is Tinder for sure. But
Tinder.
well, I don't know because it turned into Meet Me, which according to our younger cousin, she was on that fairly recently. So I don't know if it's still like anyway. We were not expecting to fall in love. Absolutely not. We met and we met in a Del Taco parking lot.
Yep.
Parking lot. Yeah, real safe, guys. Real safe.
Hey, no. We had friends.
There's
He
a lot
brought
of
his
people there.
brother, and I had, at the time, my friend was dating somebody who worked at Del Taco, so we would always hang out in the parking lot so that she could like hang out with him while he was working.
Teenage life.
So,
I get it.
and I'm pretty sure my brother was there.
Yep.
So I had three friends and my brother,
You
and
had
then
the
he had his
layers.
brother. And so at one point we were sitting in this parking lot waiting for them to come by, and my ex drove by and he
Oh,
called me and he was like, "Hey, I just saw you at Del Taco. I'm gonna swing by and say hi." So we left.
I'm
And then
glad you
we
answered. Because what if
yeah,
you just ignored it? You're like, I don't got time for that, and he like pulled up.
right. What maybe it was a text message. I don't know.
Either way, it would have been
But
a lot more fun.
oh shush. So anyway, we left. We went to Walmart because that's where all the teenagers went late at night, right? And I told
Yes.
him that I was outside of Noodles. And in my mind, that meant I was parked in front of Noodles and Company in the Walmart parking lot. Okay. Like the
Yeah.
rest. He went in to Walmart and was going down the pasta
Oh,
aisle.
Kids, when I get told, meet me at Walmart, we're by noodles.
I
So
would know if she would have said we're by the noodles, or she
I
honestly, I
never
would have said
been.
by the
Never had noodles
pasta.
and company.
he'd never been to Noodles and
Oh,
Company,
that's adorable.
right?
So
Then I
Okay.
allow your what's that nice word to say, dumb?
blissful ignorance.
Yes, there we go.
So anyway, already
Uh,
we're off to a great start. Like we were not able, like we couldn't find each other. And so we went back to Del Taco and then we met there and we hung out there the entire night. I like I don't even know what time. I don't know how long it was. It went by for a few hours and we
just the
were
two
like,
of you at that point?
no, it was
No,
all
it
of
was all of us.
us, like
All
just
okay.
hanging out just like friends.
All of
Like
us.
there Oh, sorry, you weren't invited.
I know.
That time I think we were in our little spat. It was fine.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But I mean, like I have a very, we just screwed around all night. But it was like not, no alcohol, no, it was just like so playful, fun teenager stuff. Like we bought a bag of ice no, they bought a bag of ice and dumped it on me. And like it was just stupid. I don't know. We had a blast doing nothing. Like, and that's exactly what you hope for. At least that's what I was hoping for. Like you want to have a best friend that you can just mess around with or
Laugh with,
whatever.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
So, after that, he started coming over all the time and just hanging out and, you know, I just never got rid of him.
Not for lack of trying.
Ever. So
Oh,
at that point, we were 17 and 19,
Yep.
and
Who
and
we
you
are much
are.
older.
now we are 32 and almost 34.
Like I said, much older.
You guys are old.
We've almost,
Gross.
I've almost been with him for half my life.
It's so weird to think about,
Yeah, isn't it
but it's
crazy?
cool. It's cool because it's rare,
Hmm.
you know.
But I love it.
Awesome.
Him
All right,
too.
I'm gonna ask some questions. So I'm gonna switch these up. There's gonna be some lighthearted ones and there's gonna be some serious ones, and then we'll just kind of like alternate. All right.
I
All right. Simple first one. Who made the first move?
Her.
I think so too.
Oh man, maybe we should do the thing where you like don't see who the other person says. You know?
I don't know if
I
we make
think
it
I
through.
do think I reached out first, but
I don't know if
first,
you did. Oh, maybe you did, because it was like one of the websites where you had to like both connect, like you had to
Uh
both.
huh.
So he probably reached out to me first, and I was like, "Oh, a cowboy," because like he had his, I can picture his profile picture. He had like the cowboy hat on, and it was way back when,
Yeah.
right? So
yeah,
like the flash in the mirror from
You
like
can't
because
tell
the
now.
selfie
selfie.
wasn't a thing, right? Like you had to do
Oh
the
yeah.
selfie, and so it was like a flash with like the cowboy hat, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could do that."
Yeah. Go
Oh,
get your
wait, I was
cowboy
really,
hat
I didn't
because now
mean it like that.
you're describing a cowboy and he's got his hat on backwards.
I
It's not valid right now.
know. Well, in his defense, I made him put it on backwards. But it's
That's very true. All right, now here's a challenging question. What's been the hardest moment in your relationship and how did you get through it?
I would say Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
that's good.
we moved to Illinois early 20s. I think I was maybe only
Right.
19.
2013.
I don't know how old I was.
It was not 19.
I
Two
wasn't
years?
21 yet. I couldn't
She
drink
was 19,
legally yet.
20.
Hmm.
I think you were 20.
I might have been 20.
I did not
But
realize it was that young.
yeah. So we moved to Illinois where his mom's side of the family is from.
Were you engaged yet?
Yes, we had just gotten engaged and moved to Illinois. So
Oh right, yeah.
we went out there and it was a terrible experience. I'm very close to my family, so leaving my family, first of all, was very difficult for me. And then the employment out there.
Yeah, employment was low.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he was working jobs. He got laid off because of lack of like work. The jobs wouldn't keep consistent work. What, three times?
Twice.
Twice?
And you're out there a year or less than?
Less than 8 months.
Shoot.
And I mean, the roommate situation was rough. It
So
was just
it
not a good
wasn't like a
time.
relationship between you guys that was issue. It was just your life together
It was
was
just
hard.
Well,
life issues.
but it put a
But
strain on our relationship. Like I think I said it at least twice out there. I think we had like very deep conversations about should we just call it quits? Like we were just not doing well in any sense of the term.
So what about what kind of challenges like because that's like that's like young love, right? So a lot of young love is like this is too hard. Do you have any like more mature struggles when you were more mature?
I feel like that whole situation was one of the more maturing situations
It made you push through that
because
maturity.
it wasn't just the roommate situation. It was employment, roommate situation, monetary situation. Like
Financial. I mean, I know
it,
that kind of had to do with employment, but finances.
it was
But
just
cousin, were you even working?
Yeah, I was working two jobs. and then he was working nights. So we were like literally he would bring home McDonald's in the morning and we would eat breakfast together and then I would leave. So we were like passing shifts in the night. Plus he was on the volunteer fire department. So then he would have to work sometimes there and like go do trainings there. So it was a rough go. Like we
Because
we didn't see each other at all, but somehow we were like so angry with each other.
well, and I remember when Corey was on the rigs, that was really hard on you guys because you weren't together. The like long distance relationship because he was gone for so long at a time. I remember
Yeah.
that was really strenuous on you guys too.
I think that was another factor to moving to Illinois. Like we went out there because we were like, oh gosh, it's so much cheaper, blah blah blah. Like we're gonna love this because then he can quit the oil rigs. Well, he quit. We blew through our savings within 2 months.
After
Um,
Right.
getting out there,
yeah, because we had to do all that. Like we had to grow up. Like we had our own apartment in Colorado, but then we did not account for the moving fees, the trucks to rent, all the anyway, finance. Like we didn't account for a lot of things. So, and then we expected to get work right away out there. We both went to a temp agency, and that's where he got let go twice because they needed just a temp, like a week long thing or a month long thing or whatever. And then my job ended up turning into a full-time. They offered me a full-time position, which was great. So I actually had my job, I think, the whole time out there. Actually, I think it took me a while to get it, but I
Yeah.
had it the rest of the time out there. And then I ended up getting a second job at a sporting goods store, working nights. So anyway, it wasn't what we expected at all. But we were so
right?
excited to be together because we were like, okay, we're good with our finances because he was working on the oil rigs and making a ton of money. And so we were like, well, okay, we're kind of over this money thing. It's not worth it. We just want to be together. And then we were together, but we were never seeing each other.
Man, it's like a culture shock, right? So like you're like, oh, we met and it was perfect, and we're on this honeymoon phase, and let's run off together and work. It's gonna with friends, and it's gonna be great. And then reality, and but you stuck it through though,
We did.
which
Right.
is a lot of people don't. They're like, this is too hard, and they just give up, especially that young.
Yeah. It was very hard. And I don't think my in-laws liked me. And that was the whole family we had out there.
Which is, I mean, that's hard for both sides. You to not be liked by the in-laws, and Corey
Well,
with you having to support.
we can say that we've been through some rough stuff, but I think Illinois was definitely the hardest. And I think we learned how to communicate from that to be able to go forward.
So it's kind of cool. So it's like that at the very beginning of your relationship, it was so detrimental that it carried through even to this day. Obviously, it still affects you guys, and you're able to not have as, I mean, obviously, you still have your whole lives ahead of you, but you're able to not make it get to that point ever again,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I
Awesome.
still stick with communication, communication, communication.
For real. I get,
Everything.
there's relationships, like, because I'll hang out with like a, a girl and then her husband or whatever, and like, I know that she doesn't communicate to him or vice versa. So I just text them both, hey guys, we're all hanging out. And because I just know that they won't tell each other. I've had several friendships that I've done that for. I'm like, you guys can't even tell each other when you guys.
No, I mean there are whatever. Hey, no, no, no. At this point, if you don't check the calendar, that is your fault.
I just, I like his finger.
I put everything in the calendar.
Uh,
It's not my fault you don't see it.
Yeah, I
or
don't check that until I get the 10-minute notice before whatever's going on.
have you guys seen those videos where it's like, my wife asked me to do something. Hey babe, can you take out the trash? And then the husband texts back, yep, I just pulled up, let me come on in. And then by the time he comes inside, the girl's like, I'll just do it myself. And she's like all pissed off.
Okay, not that bad.
No, she's not.
Okay, fun question. Um, if your partner was a cocktail, what would they be and why?
A cocktail?
Yeah. Or
Not
just
even
alcoholic
single
drink.
beer.
I was gonna guess beer for Corey too.
I'm gonna say.
But which one? Is it a light beer?
Well, I can't do the stubby bottle. You're too tall for that.
So he's in a tall boy. Okay.
Yep. So what? One of the 40s? No, wait, that makes you sound fat. I don't know. Let's just go with
Beer.
beer.
All right. Now what's cousin?
Twisted tea.
Why? Because she's crazy? A little bit.
All
Or a
twisted
Long
up.
Island iced tea because there's so many alcohols in it, and you know
There's a
him,
lot going
so
on in there.
he's
Yeah.
just got a lot going on
Yeah.
all the time.
Okay.
Those are good. And you guys equally like drinking those things, so
Yeah,
it fits. Fits well.
it is fitting.
All right, let's see. Let's find another serious question. That one's lame. Man, I should have read through some of these. That one doesn't sound like. Okay.
Batch.
Okay. What do you do when you're both really mad? Do you fight it out or do you cool off?
If it were up to him,
Cool off.
or up to me, I'd fight it out.
Really?
Hmm I like
Do you
I
do
like to
both
air
though right
everything
now?
out.
But do you do both? Like maybe cool it out, or wait, that's wrong. Chill out first. Wait, cool off.
I do feel like we do because we don't like to fight in front of our kids.
Oh, good.
So
So
we're
many.
very
Yeah,
much
that's a
like,
good one.
I mean, I feel like you can tell there's some tension, but we're not like, I don't know, like I'll just be doing dishes all quiet and grumpy. And then when the kids go to bed, then we will be like, all right, this like not okay. But so I feel like we do both,
Yep.
That's
even if
prob
I don't want to.
Yeah, that's probably a good balance though.
And part of maturing is she doesn't wait till I fall asleep before she brings it up now.
Now?
Okay,
She used to be really good and I would fall asleep and then wake me up and be like, hey, we need to talk about this.
Oh,
because
gross cousin.
I would try to fall asleep and I couldn't like it was upsetting me so much I couldn't sleep. And so I was like, because I would try to be that person that's like, I'll sleep on it, it's fine. But then I would just be laying there like cussing him out in my head,
Being a
like blah
twisted
blah
tea.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I'm like, no, screw this, we need to talk. And so then I would wake him up.
And then he's like, sure, babe, whatever you want. Can you just go back to bed?
Pretty much.
No way.
We would talk it out.
Yes.
Okay,
Always.
here's a cute question. What is one thing you've never said out loud but have always appreciated about your partner?
Never said out loud. That's the hardest
Oh,
part.
that's hard for you too, huh?
Yeah.
All right, what's something you don't say often then?
Hmm. I feel like,
I appreciate all that you do. I don't say it enough, but I do.
oh, thanks, babe.
Sorry.
I feel like words of affirmation is one of my showing love languages, so I try to tell you everything. But I do appreciate when you take lead on putting the kids to bed. It's like my favorite thing.
If I had that, I would love that too. Okay, so I feel like I know the answer to this, but who snores louder? Shut up! I thought it would be cousin.
No.
Wow.
Especially if have been drinking that night.
Oh my gosh. Which I mean is rare, but still, oh my gosh. We got him the CPAP and he just rips it off.
Oh, is it that uncomfortable?
I think I get claustrophobic in the middle of the night.
I could see that. I would. I wouldn't. I don't like stuff. I mean, I sleep with an eye mask, but I wouldn't like stuff here.
Yeah. It's
I don't know
rough.
if I snore though, so.
He has woken me up from his snoring so bad. And I can sleep through a tornado, okay? It's bad. That's how you know it's
Oh,
bad.
you're a heavy. Maybe, and that's kind of where my mind went. Is you're the heaviest sleeper, for sure.
Yeah. I definitely sleep the heaviest, but he is loud.
Okay, here's a cool one. What is something you admire in other couples that you want to bring into your relationship?
Oh, not really. God.
Yeah.
Aw, stop it.
I
I
get,
like.
I truly like, huh?
I was just gonna say I like the answers you guys have been saying.
I do. I get envious, which I know is the opposite of what I'm supposed to do, of people that are so godly with their marriage. It's like, it's a really hard thing to do and to both be very involved with because you're jumping into it together.
Hmm.
So, which I feel like we're both very open to it, but we're having a hard time. We've been having a hard time finding a good group to get involved with or church to stay with or whatever since COVID. So,
Just to keep it relevant.
yeah, it's hard sometimes, but
Hmm.
that is something I truly envy.
It's a good one. Okay, here's another one. This one's kind of cool. What is your partner's most used phrase?
Kind of a bitch.
Oh yeah, I hear that. Oh yeah. Wow. Why
Wait,
they
wait.
gotta be
Were
bad
you
words,
asking what
guys?
each of ours was or what we think the others is?
I said,
What do you think the yeah? What's your other, like you say hers, she says yours. And right after we're talking about you guys wanting to be more godly. Come on. Both bad words.
There's nothing in the Bible that says anything about using bad words.
I disagree. I think there is.
There's gotta be something.
I'm pretty
There's
sure it's
gotta
on
be
the
something.
Ten Commandments. We're gonna have to look at it now.
Yeah. You all look that up. I'm picking different questions. Oh, that's a
Your
rough
favorite
question. I'm
phrases?
not gonna
Your
ask that
favorite
question.
phrase is just give me a minute.
Yeah, that's true.
See, I think her favorite phrase is, "Hey, babe."
Nope, nope, it's give me a minute. Even when I call during the day, hey babe, give me a minute.
See, still, "Hey, babe." That's why when I try to prank you and I answer her phone, I always say, "Hey, babe."
It says the Bible strongly discourages cursing, profanity, and swearing, particularly using God's name in vain.
I mean, that's expected.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it
here's
doesn't
another
say
one.
not to. It just says that it's strongly suggested.
Oh, okay, I'll ask. Two. Okay, what is the pettiest thing you've argued about recently?
Um,
You come to mind.
what?
Taking the highway and making PB&J sandwich, the order in which to make a
I
PB&J.
feel like the PB&J would win this question.
So so frustrating.
All right, listeners, which is the right way? Because I kind of agree. I can't remember. I think I agree with Corey
Do you put
on
peanut
this
butter
one.
down first or jelly first? I
Honestly,
would peanut butter first.
so I agree with cousin. I thought Corey was the jelly
No,
first.
I put jelly first so that I can
Because,
wipe it off
yep,
on the clean piece of bread, and then I put
yep.
well, we
But
put
I
some
do
Corey's
the
argument
same thing
because
with
it
peanut butter.
says it's
peanut butter
peanut
and
butter.
jelly
Yeah. But I definitely do the jelly first.
because that's the right way.
And I
I don't
still do the
know.
same thing with the peanut butter. I clean the knife off on the other
But
Okay,
piece
it
of food.
rips up the bread.
okay, my mom, which is so crazy because my mother would have taught me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? You'd think. But I don't know who did because she also disagrees with me because she says if any of the jelly gets in the peanut butter jar, then it gets gross because it's not cold anymore, right? Because then
Gets
it
all
has
hard and
to,
crunchy.
yeah. But if any of the peanut butter gets in the jelly jar, it's fine because it goes in the fridge anyway. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from, but it's still wrong. That's sad. That's sad.
And
It's still wrong.
I clean the knife off the same as you do with the jelly first, and it is literally in the name peanut butter and jelly.
Let me ask you, when was the last time you made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Well, it's been about 7 years since we can't have peanut butter.
Okay. When was the last time you made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
That's a good one.
There was just last week or the weekend before?
Mm.
I made it for her.
Okay, I make them like multiple times a week, sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah,
My children are
and you
going
do
to
it wrong every time.
We're gonna have to ask your kids which one tastes
Anyway.
better. Okay. New question. Which one of you, not together, would survive longer in a zombie apocalypse?
Me.
Me.
I'm a better shot.
Yeah, but
So
I feel like I would survive longer.
Hmm. Agree to disagree.
I'm trying to pick now. All right,
Thing
who's
is, how I think I would last longer is because I would know when to hide and when to run. You would just go in guns a-blazing every time.
But if it works, it works. They can't bite me if I actually do kill them.
okay. What is your partner's most annoying but harmless habit?
Oh my gosh.
Pick one of the long list.
Cutting his toenails in bed.
Man, just cutting toenails is just a gross thing. Can we just
So annoying.
be declawed? Is that a thing for people?
Oh
Walk around
man.
with little stubs.
That's probably the most annoying thing to me. Or like picking at like just
Just feet in general.
just feet.
It's gross. It's just a gross thing.
It's gross. But it's totally harmless, but it just drives me nuts.
All right, Corey, your turn.
I think now it's the telling me not to yell at the kids as you're yelling at the kids.
That's a good one.
Okay,
That's a good
it's
one.
different when I have been home with them all day.
No, because even when I'm home with them all day, I still get the same response from you. Don't yell at them. Go clean your damn room.
Okay, but I say it so much nicer.
I say go clean your
Please.
damn room too.
Please.
I'll go up to them and I'll be like, "Can you please go clean your mother effing?" Just kidding.
No, she's not.
Thank you. Okay. Oh man, where'd that question go? Okay, this is a fun one. If your relationship was a reality show, what would it be called?
Cowboys and Angels.
Okay, so I was just gonna ask. That was another one of my questions. Was what was your theme song? So I think it'd be. Or now I'm thinking more movie titles.
If they made a movie after us, what would you think the movie title should be?
I'm trying to think of one of those. Honestly, like this one's a pregnancy one, but what to expect when you're expecting? Because cousin overplans everything.
That's also one of her
And
favorite movies while she was pregnant.
it's a good one. It's a good one. I
It is
watched it the other
It
day.
was.
Yeah, yeah.
I really know. I like the Cowboy and Angel one.
Like a current one.
I feel like there's got to be a little crazy in there, though.
I was gonna say, like, if we were creating our own, it'd be like Crazy and the Cowboy or something like
Yeah, yeah.
something like that. So I agree, it's
Like,
gonna be crazy.
yeah. There's got to be crazy in there. Okay, let's see. Oh, that who has that? It's a card question.
Hmm.
Okay. How do you want to grow old together? I already know, but
I want to have a nice view and a wraparound porch
Rocking
and
chairs pointed to
rocking
the west.
chairs pointing west.
Pointing west. Wow, that is very detailed. In what
Sunsets on the
state?
west.
Colorado, if any.
Yeah.
Wyoming and Montana are pretty too, though.
I was gonna say the
Cheaper.
where's the it's like depending on where it's cheaper with mountains
Mhm.
and weather.
The weather,
Um
we've discussed the whole weather thing, and we feel like we could be fine pretty much wherever with the weather.
As long as we're out of the desert.
yeah, I can't do the heat. Yeah. Okay, if you had to live in another country for a year together, where would you go?
New Zealand.
I was gonna say Ireland, but I'm good with either one.
Either one. Yeah, I'm good with either one.
All right, now just my question. If you had to go apart, where would you go?
New Zealand.
Ireland.
I was expecting you to say like the US cousin so you'd be closer to family.
Well, you said another country. Oh, like if we had to live
You're
in that.
not wrong. You're not wrong. I did say another country.
I mean, if that's the case, you're totally leaving. I'm staying.
All right, just
What?
don't worry about the crazy shit I get involved in.
Lord.
Okay, what would you do if you both quit your jobs tomorrow?
Run our own business.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say panic
Nope. If we
and then
both quit, it's because we have something that we're working toward.
That's
So
fair.
I've said it for a while. Like if I ever didn't have a job, I feel like we could hustle at this point to figure it out with all of
Hustle.
our crafts or whatever we got going on.
If your partner had an instruction manual, what would be the first 3 rules? Or what would the first 3 rules be?
Do not feed past midnight.
Past midnight?
Just kidding. Past 10 p.m.
Why? What happens?
On the toilet for an hour the next morning.
That's what I was going to guess. Then you can just make those getting shit done videos, cousin.
I need to get on it. Angry when hungry.
Are you saying for him or you?
For him.
Okay.
But I guess that one could be both. I don't know what would be another one. I don't want to say anything dirty.
Why not?
He's like, that's what I was thinking.
Let him touch your butt. I feel like that's a man thing.
Yeah.
All right, your turn, Corey.
So for her, it'd be feed when hungry.
Angry, yeah.
Don't wake the bear ever at any point of day.
Is she the bear?
Yes.
Yes.
You've woken her up from a nap. You already knew that.
Yeah. She's the hardest person to wake up.
And then she gets angry.
I like to sleep, okay? I feel like I've gotten better since I have kids.
And listen and don't interrupt or overtalk.
Interrupt's a good one.
I feel like that's one of your biggest pet peeves with people.
Do you overtalk?
No, but I feel like other people do that to you, and it's one of your biggest pet peeves when that happens.
Well, maybe certain people.
Freaking kids.
I know. Okay, so now maybe if you guys give some more advice, I think we need to add some more advice in here. What would be advice you'd give for newlyweds as well as this far into your marriage? A little bit of both.
So something that I actually have been giving advice on to actually both newlyweds and people that are actually struggling in their relationship this far along is something that we recently started doing. Um, we we pretty much got to a point where I was like, we need to go to therapy. We need to go to counseling. I just want to have somebody else help us out through this. I don't know what we were in, just a rut
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Hmm.
And so anyway, I was trying to find one. I couldn't find one. I couldn't find one on our insurance. I couldn't find one that honestly would even respond to me. I was sent out, and it was probably the website that I was on, but I sent out so many messages and I didn't get a single one back. So I was just flustered at this point. We were going to go through our church to find a counselor and all this stuff. But before we did that, we decided to sit down every Thursday. We didn't have the TV on. We sat down and we just, after the kids went to bed, we would read a book about marriage, like self-help kind of book. And I would read a chapter and then he would read a chapter and then we would switch back and forth every week and then we would talk about it and, open up about it. So that has been great, except for this last book that we picked is about affairs. And although I know a lot of people struggle with that, that's not one of the things we struggle with. So
It's really hard to get there.
it's
But you're
very,
reading it still. I was gonna say if you're not reading it, I still think you should because you never know, and this would be a good prevention method for even
yeah,
those couples that don't think they struggle with it. You never know, and so it's good to know
right.
what to not to do.
I agree. And I feel like that's, we will still finish it. And I feel like that's a big deal. In the book, it actually talks about like you never like this is a situation that happens. And it's just difficult because a lot of the situations they're explaining are just not relevant to our lives. So,
Hmm.
it's just one of those things. But anyway, that our my sister-in-law, his sister just got engaged, and I sent her a book that you could actually write in. It's like you could go over your own things together, and it was like a marriage book slash journal kind of thing.
Workbook thing.
Yeah. So I told her, I was like, hey, this is what your brother and I have been doing lately, and it's working great for us. And I just wanted to have you introduce that early on in your marriage, so that you could work through stuff, especially before you get married, just so that you are open books with each other. And so I think it's been good. And then I actually suggested the same thing to my mom. I guess she's still technically, they've been married for 7 years, but still, that's not nothing, So
Yeah.
anyway, I've suggested it to a lot of people because I feel like it's good, and I feel like it's that refresh, and we started it with five love languages. So we read it, and then actually that one I think I read and then you read and
Yeah.
then we discussed it after. So it wasn't really like we were working together with it like we have, but
But that brings the communication part in.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
What about you,
Otherwise,
Corey?
Mm, I mean, other than communication, I think it's just be open to change. People are gonna change, life situations change, and you gotta be open to it.
Yeah.
And I had dreams of doing something completely different career-wise, and I've spent the last, what, 13 years in some sort of construction field that, you know,
not anything that you wanted to
yeah,
do,
but I got good at it. So,
Rolling with the punches. That's
yeah,
that's life.
especially when you meet somebody so young because your dreams change, your life changes. It's just, and I feel that way a lot. And I feel like a lot of people that know us would say that we grew up together. And so we had to deal with those changes. And I think that was another thing that we had to work through because, there were obviously aspects where male, female, teenagers, whatever, where like there were certain things that I wanted and I had expectations for in my life. And then, you know, he was like, why? And it was just a struggle because there were just things that we didn't understand about each other, like where we expected to be in our lives, but you have to
Hmm.
be talking about it and understand. And then also, like, the person who's trying to pressure that kind of stuff also needs to take a step back and be like, all right, calm down. It doesn't need to happen tomorrow. You can have a 5-year goal or whatever the case may be. So anyway, growing together is good.
Yeah. And then I had another one to try and figure out how he's gonna phrase it. Um, Open to change, and I'm trying to think the best way to describe the how we've changed from the car accident. Because I feel like there was a new light that was kind of brought to us that we didn't
Like a
know.
rebirthing.
Yeah.
We'll explain the car accident and then maybe that'll help you find the words.
So with the car accident, I got hit by a semi truck and totaled the car, but I walked away from it. And
And you were in a sedan, right?
huh,
You were in a sedan,
yeah.
small car.
And I remember like I did whatever I could to not end up underneath it because when I got turned in front of the semi, I just remembered that I didn't give cousin Ashton, our son, a
Don't
kiss.
say that. That's weird.
You can just call her Ash.
I didn't give Ashton, our son, a kiss goodbye that morning.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so that's what went through my head, and I did whatever I could to not end up underneath the truck. And I don't, I mean, I guess it's more like look for the light because something that could have been a very dark situation for us and knowing that I walked away from it.
Hmm.
I mean, most people, even the firefighters that showed up to the scene, were like, people don't walk away from this. Like, figure out what you're supposed to do and go do it.
Yeah, and follow that path and don't be afraid. Yeah.
And then other people need to be supportive of that too.
Yeah.
Like after that, man, that did give us a whole new light on life kind of thing. Especially with how much we saw it going the other way within our relationship. So it is an eye opener for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, man. I got deep. Where'd my fun questions go? I scrolled too much.
It always makes it deep. Wait, don't. Don't put
Ah!
that in there.
Why
That's
not?
not.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No. Don't be dirty about it. Always bring conversations to a deepened level. You dirty bird.
Okay. What is the dumbest inside joke you two have and no one else understands?
I think you understand.
I know. I was like, I probably.
I love you, Yoshi.
I love you forever. Beyond forever and ever and ever.
Even after death do us part.
Even after death do us part.
Okay, this is so funny. This is a weird one. If your partner was a kitchen appliance, what would they be and why?
She would be a stand mixer.
Because she can't slow down.
And she likes to bake. It's the save all end all baking tool.
I was gonna call you Blender. Blender was the first thing that came to my
That
mind.
sounds aggressive.
I know. But I feel like it would truly be like a grill. Like you're just chilling until somebody needs you.
Takes a while to piss him off, get him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But warm it up, feed it. Make sure it's full.
High maintenance, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Make sure it's covered and it's all warm.
All right, who is more likely to cry during a commercial, and what's the most embarrassing one you've cried at?
Me. And pregnancy doesn't count.
I have a dumb one and I don't cry. I cry like twice. It wasn't even a commercial.
I don't
That's not
have
even
a
a
commercial that I cried over, but I can tell you the dumbest thing that I cried over.
what? And you were pregnant or no?
Yeah, I was pregnant. I
Okay.
feel like every pregnant woman would agree with me here. And he felt so bad
That I remember.
because I was eating my dinner and I'm the type of person that saves the best bite for last, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
Uh-oh.
then this guy came over with his fork and he took my bite and I cried. And I was like, why would you do that?
Well,
So
I'm pretty
I
sure
was
I think
so
she said
upset.
she was getting full, and so I just assumed I
You're like,
could
here,
take the
babe, I'll
bite.
help.
And I was so upset I cried because he took the best bite.
I went to when I was pregnant, the stupidest thing I cried about was I went to Chili's and they have those cookie skillets. Well, the one that I liked was the turtle one, so it had like caramel and cookie and stuff, and they said that they don't sell them anymore, and I just started crying at the front, and I was like, "But I came here just for the cookie," and I was just
Never heard you say that.
really? Yeah. I was
Really?
with all my friends because we had planned a girls' night, and I picked Chili's because I was like, I'm craving this stupid thing, and I was so excited. And I went in there, and they're like, or maybe we were already seated and we had already eaten dinner and stuff, and then I ordered it, and they're like, yeah, we don't have that anymore, and I just started, yeah, yeah, that was good.
Get that. I totally could understand that.
Good. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's a good one. What's your partner's most questionable fashion choice, past or present?
I don't really have one for you, but I already
I-
know exactly what you're going to say in that closet of mine.
The button-up shirt.
Yep.
It's either that or the trench coat.
That I just wore to piss you off.
So
You don't
frustrating.
have any for her?
Nothing.
No,
Not even
Dig
my
deep.
lime green heels.
no, I like those. So I'm gonna
What about her hair choices? She's cutting her hair so many different ways over the years. What's the
I,
worst one?
I don't think she has the worst one. I mean, what was it? The one in Illinois was the one you didn't like the most.
No, I liked that one a lot, actually. I
What,
always try to get
The
my hair done
short,
the same way.
what one
the
was it?
short bob.
It was right after our wedding. The
Ah,
A-frame. Oh God, it
yeah.
made me look so fat.
Oh yeah.
Where she
Oh
back of my head.
Yep, I forgot about that one.
yeah.
That was
And
my least favorite
then
one.
fashion, I think, would just be replacing that hoodie from high school of mine.
Get out of here. You love it.
I do. I'm just surprised you haven't replaced it and taken one of the other ones yet.
If you could have your boyfriend's hoodie from high school, wouldn't you have your boyfriend's hoodie from high school?
Yeah, I always loved wearing their shit.
See? I mean, it has holes in it and paint all over it, but I don't care. It's my
I
favorite.
don't care. Yeah. Well, I felt bad because my boyfriend in high school, he had the Letterman jacket or whatever, and so I wore it all the time. I wore it to work. Well, I worked at a burger joint, and so like I literally gave it back to him. And I don't know about y'all, but I think burgers and BO smell very similar. And so I literally gave him his jacket back smelling like BO.
Because it was
Because
burgers.
it smelled like burgers. And so I was like, well, it used to smell like you, but yeah.
My bad.
But yeah, I'm like, I love wearing, or when I was younger, I loved wearing my dad's jackets. But that was just because it was like a big blanket.
Yeah.
Um, what does commitment mean to you now versus when you first got married?
I think when we first got married, commitment just meant not cheating on me, right? That was
Okay.
like the thing. Now I feel like it's helping out more, like showing that you love the other person with more than just the day-to-day tasks. Like showing that you are committed to this relationship even when we're going through parenthood, because that's what we've been stuck in for a while.
And ruts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the advice questions I was gonna ask you is how do you suggest to people um, how to stay close after becoming parents? Because most parents they forget about their relationship and they only focus on the children. And so, what advice
Make,
would you have to make sure you still?
make time to have a date night.
Hmm.
Even if it's going for 20 minutes to get ice cream.
That's because we just did that.
Yep. But it was nice.
It
I
was
mean,
nice.
you're not
We
always going to be able to get an hour away, but you get 20 minutes or, you know, get them to bed early and not do your normal routine. Like with us, it's typically going to our room and watching a show or something before we go to bed. But, plan the extra snacks and plan to watch the movie that we both want to see.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna go on a little tangent because I watched these two videos the other day and I can't remember exactly what was on them, but basically they were talking about how women need to support men more and men need to support women more over like after having children because it's hard. And it was like they were conflicting each other because they were talking about how like they're both going through so much, right? With like the change of being parents and all this stuff. But basically what I found out from that is like it sucks. Like right now for your marriage, being a parent is hard. The women are freaking out because we have to plan everything and whatever, and then the men are freaking out because the women are yelling at them. Plus, they've watched Bluey 1,000 times and they know that they have to be a better dad because Bandit has a high bar to set, and it's hard. Like it is hard for your marriage, but like my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes, and yours too, cousin, is the days are long, but the years are short. And I just try to think about that every single day. And that is also with my marriage. So, like my children, I try to take in everything and I pray for grace every night because I need it so badly. But also, while you're taking in all that stuff from your children, you need to also be like, okay, husband, how was your day?
Hmm.
A simple question just to catch up on the two of you together, and it shouldn't be focused on the children. And I feel like that's just so important. And I just feel like there is a reason that parents divorce around this age, like it's hard. And I feel like you just kind of need to power through until your kids are a little more independent and then you'll figure it out again. And I know that's easier said than done for some people. And I know that, obviously, if it's unhealthy relationship wise and you guys are just screaming at each other for a couple of years, maybe powering through is not the right suggestion. But, for everybody else, I just think power through.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the love's there, power through.
Yeah.
Well, and I think honestly, like by you asking each other, but how was your day? Yes, that's great for you to care about their day, but it also reminds that parent that their day matters too. That it's
Yeah.
not just about the kids, it's you're here too. And because we often forget about ourselves because we're constantly putting our love into others and we forget that we need love too. My mom always says, my mom has a lot of quotes, um, but she considers everybody to have like a love bucket. Cool. So, like, you have a bucket of love that you pour into everybody all day long, especially when you have kids. And someone needs to pour that back into you, and people forget that you need to be filled back up. Otherwise, you're going to run out. So, I think that's good that if you just practice on asking the other person, that naturally teaches you as yourself that you matter too.
I love that. I think I've heard her mention that before, but I
There's
forgot.
also a part in that book that we've been reading. They talk about the love bucket.
Love
Yeah.
bucket. It's a good analogy, like a visual analogy, because you do forget about that. You think, like I love loving people, which is great, but it's it's hard to give and 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 then get nothing back.
Yeah.
Because then you feel selfish. You're
Eventually
like, well,
run
it's
out.
okay, it's okay, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But at the end of the day, like you need it.
Yeah, Something that my mother sent me was uh, remember to put your face mask on first, or
It's,
your
I
oxygen
mean,
mask on
yep,
first.
yeah,
And I'm like, wow, that hits, that hit home.
yeah. Because it's funny because when you first hear that, you're like, that's dumb. Like, I don't want my baby to die. But it's like, but if you do, nobody's there to take care of your baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. It's crazy.
Mm. All right. Do you have any other last advice that just pops in your head? It can be about anything.
One that I told Ash that I've actually heard her repeat throughout the day is every day make your bed.
I don't do.
Accomplish. So here's why. I listened to a video of a Navy admiral giving like a college graduation speech. And that was his one thing that he stuck with was every day make your bed. That way, whether you get up and go to work for the day or you just get up, you accomplish something. And he's like, eventually, or most days, you'll make your bed, then you'll brush your teeth. And it just starts the day with a positive of accomplishment.
I like that.
So
Maybe I'll make my bed in the morning and send you a picture.
looking forward to it.
Like done,
Okay.
task done. I get my sticker now.
I get my sticker now. Gold star. It better
Like
be a gold
I've
star.
heard um like Ash and I talking on the phone at me driving between job sites or something and I'll just hear, okay, made the bed. So
That's just good adulting advice.
yeah, but
And
I feel like it goes into everything.
but childrening too, because the children needs to make their beds.
Yeah,
I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'll just be accomplished that I brush my teeth every
Yeah, but
that's
pick something.
something.
day.
Like
It doesn't have to. Okay, I
we
see
don't
what you mean.
communicate very well at all.
No, not at all.
But like
uh,
whether it's brushing your teeth or making your bed, like at least if that's the only thing you did, you could say you accomplished your one goal every day.
all right. Well, I looked up a quote
Oh, I
since.
did too.
Oh, you have one?
Yeah.
I assumed you were preoccupied being answering all my questions. So,
No, I
what's
looked it
yours?
up way in the beginning.
Oh, you were all prepared.
I
All
was.
right. Let's read. You read yours, and then I have one too.
Okay. So my quote was, a successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person.
It's adorable.
That is cute.
Mine is a strong marriage isn't built on the good days alone. It's built on how you hold each other through the storms.
Oh, I like that one too.
I know. Chat GPT. I mean, Chad. Well, first, actually, thank you for being on here with us, Corey. This was awesome.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right.
Now you
Please
guys know
remember.
Mm.
Okay, you say yours first.
Now you guys know who I am talking about when I say hubby. Sorry, just punched you in the face.
The visual is always nice, I think.
Yes.
This is how it lasted so long.
Oh my gosh,
Get it in
whatever.
the face daily.
If this
Maybe.
counts as hitting you in the face, then yes, that is. It's okay, baby. You had a good day at work. It's okay.
Please remember to like, follow, and comment to connect with us. We are now on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook pages. Just search Calling Cousins. Love you all. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye bye.